We had an opportunity to be able to cruise together and spend dinner together. She's got an amazing talk coming up called Visibility Before Breakfast. It's before breakfast for me. I don't know about you. Welcome, Angel.
Hey Kimberly, how are you doing?
I'm so excited. It's just going to be an incredible day. Look at you go, girl. All
Look, I'm
right.
putting my
So
sleep mask on, right? Yes, because it's before breakfast.
All right, I love it. So, we're going to get into visibility before breakfast, but first, tell us your story. You have such an incredible story about helping people get publicity and get media ready. So, tell us how you became so passionate about getting visibility before breakfast.
I would love to. I would love to. I mean, the short story is I'm lazy. I love to sleep in. I love just hanging out in my jammies and in bed. And how can I create more impact? But my background is in media. I was a radio talk show host. I had to get up at 3:30 in the morning in order to get to the studio for my 5 a.m. Actually, I got to the studio at 3:30 a.m. So we won't even tell what time I actually got out of bed in the morning. But I would get to the studio at 3:30 in the morning. I would host a 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. breakfast morning show in Denver. And I did that for years. It totally messed up my metabolism. And after that, I decided I never wanted to do anything where I had to get up that early in the morning. But I will tell you, during my tenure as a radio talk show host, I probably interviewed over 5,000 guests during my career, over 2,500 broadcasts. And the number one common denominator, the common thread, and I didn't even realize this until after I left broadcasting. And somebody was asking me, right, as we're creating our new program, putting together what we were teaching. I left broadcasting to start teaching entrepreneurs how to get booked on radio, how to get booked on television, how to get featured in the media. And the number one door opener, this is the global passport. If you've ever thought, how do I get more exposure? How do I get invited to speak? What's the number one thing? It is being a published author. That was the
Mm.
common denominator for almost every single guest that I ever interviewed. And not only did they get to be in the media, and not only did they get to be interviewed, they got to do it, Kimberly, for free. For free. You don't
Incredible.
have to pay advertising. They didn't have to pay for stage time. As an author, you often get invited to speak in traditional media, non-traditional media, and the only thing that you can sell on these stages in these media opportunities, if you have not paid for the stage, you didn't pay to sponsor it, right? You didn't pay to advertise. The only thing you can really sell, actually, you can sell, not even like kind of around the skirt around it. Officially, you can sell your book. So
Your book.
if you're an expert, I would love to introduce you as the author, right? Not only as the author, but the expert who wrote the book on it. And so that's how we created the Authorlicity program, the Podlicity program, everything that we do now that helps you create a visibility streak, and you can do the entire framework before you ever even get out of bed in the morning. It's awesome.
Oh, I love this. All right. So, before you even get out of bed in the morning, before breakfast, what do we need to know about publicity before breakfast and getting seen?
Right? Think about this. First thing we do when we get up in the morning is we pick up our phones, we start
Oh,
scrolling, right?
yeah,
We're scrolling through social media, we're checking our email, we're in reaction mode,
sure.
like immediately. But the thing with social media, Kimberly, is even if you are posting and you are regularly posting, the platform itself is designed to erase you every 24 hours. Like
Ooh.
people aren't going to go back and look at your history. They're not going to go back and see what you posted, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 3 months from now, right? It is a fresh new platform. This is why when you're leveraging social media, you have to create something fresh every 24 hours because the platform itself is designed to erase you. But what if you could create assets? Assets that are long going, they stick around long after the scroll, they create long form content. And so the framework is that I'm gonna walk through today are really what I call your VAPLs, right? VAPLs is like apples with a V, right? So it's
Okay.
VAPLs, right? And the VAPLs, this is the framework. So if you think about V, it's scheduling a virtual event. Apple or the A is articles, writing an article. Articles stick
Ooh.
around, they establish you as the authority, right? When people Google, when they search, they're keyword rich. And if you can create an article that is on somebody else's platform, like all four of these VAPLs are borrowing other people's audiences. So the first one, the V, is virtual events, scheduling virtual events. Getting into the voices of women. There's a V, right? Getting into Kimberly's world. She has stages every single week. She's looking for hundreds of speakers. If you are the expert on it, you should be speaking on, two apples a week creates a visibility streak that has them Googling you by Friday. So first one, the V, right, is virtual events. The A is articles, writing an article, establishing yourself as that expert first thing in the morning. And think about this, these are keyword rich. You can write them. You can use AI to help you create the
Yeah.
format, the outline. We just launched, Kimberly, a virtual magazine called The Published Voice that is now
Ooh.
syndicated on Medium. Medium has a reach of thousands and thousands of people who are online reading articles. So it establishes you as the authority, the credibility, they're keyword rich when people are Googling you. Because what happens now when people are searching for an answer? AI is answering
Mm-hmm.
it. So
Mm-hmm.
feed the beast, right? Feed the algorithm. You can do this without makeup, right? Without getting yourself ready, right? With your sleep mask on and still in your jammies, right? Writing an article.
Okay.
So, right? So, well,
So
I'm
when
like
we write
messing
the
up my notes.
article, where do we put it? Is it LinkedIn? Is it, God, I don't even know any others.
Yeah,
You
no,
don't
it
do an
is.
article on Facebook, right?
There are not articles on Facebook. There are tons of media opportunities that they are looking for contributing authors. So here's the thing. If you do a Google search, think about what your expert topic is. So, Kimberly, what's your expert topic? What would you say? Like if you
Getting
wanted to
on
be known as
stages.
getting on stages. So if we did a Google search for getting on stages, like speaking on stages, getting booked on stages, and we did a search, we filter that out by media. So you can
Okay.
look up news, you can look up media. You're going to get an instant database of magazines, online platforms that are searching for that are hosting articles on that topic. So one, you could actually be a contributing author. Two, most of those platforms, they're looking for writers. So if you've got, and just like have one or two. So I love Medium. We have the Published Voice for $17 a month. You can put an article into the Published Voice. So there's opportunities all over. And you can just do a Google search, find media, and find, two or three different media outlets. And sometimes you have to wait like a 10-day period before you can repost and repurpose an article,
Okay.
like,
Okay.
right? But you follow the rules and it's all really awesome. So getting booked on, sharing that article out, there's free and there's paid services as well. Just pick two or three. And remember, two Vapples a week, right? So you only need to borrow somebody else's stages twice a week. So if you're doing a live interview and an article, or a podcast guest and a live event, right? Just two Vapples a week is all it takes to create the visibility streak. So I
Okay.
did
We
the
got
V, right?
virtual event, we got article. I'm dying to know what the P's are.
Right? There's two P's, right? So P number one, ooh, the first one is a podcast interview. There are hundreds, if not thousands, of guests. If you want to reach hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people by sharing your voice is the most powerful tool that you have. It is the way to connect the most deeply with your target audience. And podcast interviews, people can listen to a podcast interview on the go. People have more time in their day to listen than to do anything else, to sit and watch, to sit and read. They have more time in their day to listen. So podcast interviews, being a guest on somebody else's podcast. We happen to run a pretty large podcast networking community, and we've just launched just a couple weeks ago a brand new community where you can network directly with podcast hosts. Podlicity, right?
I love it.
Leveraging, we're trademarking it. We just submitted the trademark for Podlicity. We're running it now in our school platform, Kimberly. You can join for free, or for our VIP members, you can actually have access to premium level for 1 month. We'll give you the link for that, but you can get access to our premium level. But Podlicity is a great network. You want to network connect with podcast hosts, Speakers Playhouse, great place to find podcasters who are looking for guests. Two interviews a week. Just imagine this. If you were a guest on just two shows a week, that puts you in front of 100 new separate target audiences over the course of 1 year. And
Amazing.
again, you can schedule these without even getting out of bed in the morning. Now, to actually do them, you want to be camera ready. So I only recommend two per week. If you can, schedule them on the same day so that you're camera ready. But it doesn't always work that way. In the beginning, just go and I say play the clubs. Say yes to as many podcast opportunities. Like Kimberly says, if somebody hands you the mic, you say yes. If somebody
Yep.
says, I'm looking for a guest, you say yes. This is an incredible way to practice your message, to practice your story, get your message out, kind of get your wiggles out, but play the clubs. And it doesn't matter the size of the podcast. I know people come to me and they're like, Angel, I only want to get booked on really big shows. I'm like, great. How
Yeah.
big is your audience? And they're like, oh, it's a two-way street, right? Like, so
Yep.
yes, they only, the big shows, you're either going to pay with big bucks or with a big audience. So in the beginning, just go play the clubs and get yourself booked because you can create the SEO, the search engine optimization. You can be searchable. Google doesn't care what size the audience is. And Kimberly, I just a couple weeks ago got myself dressed, drove across town to do a lunch and learn to speak to, I think there were 12, maybe 13, 14 people in the room. I was gone. It like took all day. But
Hmm.
imagine, right? I can just turn on my camera, do a podcast interview. I can reach hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, and it's evergreen. It's an asset,
Yes.
right? Like these are things that you guys are creating assets. Your recordings of your presentations, your articles that are out there, right? These are assets that stick around. They don't just fleet. Somebody can listen to you next week, next month, next year. So it's compounding. So P number one is the podcast interviews. P number two is press releases. Press
Oh, we did a press. I just have to do a shout out for Voices of Women and Angel Tussey because she did a press release for the Voices of Women Summit. How many people did it reach?
It reached 46.1 million people.
That's
People,
amazing.
this is amazing. Over 150 media outlets picked up her story. So now, if you Google Voices of Women, she's got this incredible reach. We're going for a world record. So, ladies, today, you guys are sitting here. Invite somebody. There's no charge. There's no. They don't even have to be camera ready. Tell them pop in. There's presentations all day long, and it isn't so much about like I want to hear that or I want to like let's come together as women and be united. The world needs more women at the top with our compassion, with our heart, with our soul, with our love, with our grace, like all the feminine things that we bring and our masculine traits too, right? We are
Yep.
leaders, we are bosses, we are making a difference, right? We make decisions, we make them fast, and we are loyal and we stick to it. So, press releases, you want those media mastheads. I want to be seen on ABC, NBC, CBS, even non-traditional. Podcast Park, Lifestyle Magazine. Like, these are media outlets that will pick up your press release. There are press release services that you can use. We charge $500 to write and distribute your press release. So if you have questions about that, we can get your press release out like once a quarter, right? Even if you just do one a quarter. I like once a month. But if that's just a little bit too heavy of a lift for you, at least once a quarter, get your message out into the marketplace, leveraging the power of other people's audiences, traditional media. I'm telling you, you'll create a visibility streak. If in 90 days, if you'll do two of these, like one press release, an article, two interviews a week, a virtual stage, the last one is the L. So I don't do an E. I just do the Apple.
We'll have to
I,
come up
I'm
with a
sure I'll
name.
come up with an E. Oh, live events. Live events is LE. Oh my gosh, I just put that together that's what the LE is. Live events. And so in person, right, where you get to go to the marketers cruise, get on the cruises with Kimberly when she's live at an event and she invites you. Look, we're going to be here, we're going to be there. We're doing conferences, we're doing cruises, we're doing lunch and learns, we're doing workshops, we're doing meet the author events. Participate in a live event. Go and meet the people because relationships, they're built in the hallways, lobbies, bars, bathrooms, right, ladies?
True.
In the bathrooms, how many great conversations have we started in the
True.
bathroom? So that's my VAPL event, right? Visibility before breakfast, doing two VAPLs a week creates a visibility streak. We've got our visibility streak blueprint that you guys all get access to for free. The VIPs Join our Podlicity community in school. We'll give you the link for that. And then the VIPs get a premium, a free month of premium just for being a VIP here today.
Wow, that is a new announcement, ladies and gentlemen. If you're already VIP, pat yourself on the back because in the green room, Angel and I crafted this up real quick. I asked her about VIP gift, and she decided to give away 1 month of premium for the VIPs. So you're going to get a chance to check out Podlicity. You can join Podlicity for free. I think we put the link in the chat. I'll put it in again. And if you click on that link, you can join it for free. But if you're a VIP, we will get you a code so that you can upgrade to be able to be a premium member. What do they get with premium?
With premium, you get to include an article in the published voice, which is syndicated on Medium. You get to host a VIP workshop inside our masterclass library. And so it'll be there for the 30 days that you are a premium member. You also get to join our Podlicity Inner Circle calls. So there's lots of fun stuff that you get as a premium member.
Well, I know I already contributed an article there because you sent me an email and you were like, an article, like, let's get it done. And I'm like, yes, here you go. Like, made that
You
happen.
were the
And
first one and
ChatGPT.
you were on it. It was so funny,
Yeah.
Kimberly. I gave that freebie. And here, ladies, like just think about this. I gave that away, Kimberly, to 66 people. Four people took advantage of it.
Oh my gosh.
Four. And I was like, this was a free opportunity. I gave it away. All you had to do was ask ChatGPT to write an article for you, even
I
if you
know,
didn't have
right?
time. And it would have been syndicated not only on the published voice, but also in on Medium. We had four people take advantage of it. And I'm telling you, there's opportunities in front of you. We're always looking for like what more, what more, what more. What do you already have in front of you that you can take advantage of?
Mm.
Stay in your lane, like connect with the people that you're already connected with, build relationships with the people that are already around you that are getting in your inbox. Like respond to them. Don't always think I've got to go meet new. If you're not going to build the relationships and connect with the people that are already in your network, more is just noise, right? Be more strategic. Let's stop the hustle where we have to do everything all day long. Let's be more strategic and intentional, create assets that stick around. And a lot of those assets are the relationships with people we already know, like, and trust.
Ooh, so good. I love it.
Mm.
So people are asking tons of questions and I
Oh.
love it. Put your questions in the chat. We want to be sure that we answer your questions while we've got Angel here at our fingertips. So Angel, first question is it okay to publish an article that's been written with ChatGPT? And I think the key word there is with.
With, yes, right? Yeah, ChatGPT gets it wrong, right? Like, it gets it wrong. And a lot of it looks very chat, right? Like it's got a lot of dashes in it. The
Yeah.
formatting is very chat looking. But here's the thing. What we're leveraging these articles for are for SEO, for searchability, for maximum reachability. So yes, I actually encourage you leverage ChatGPT to help you write those articles because it knows the keywords and the leveraging. So here's a secret.
Mm.
Ask it, what are the top 10 to 12 questions that somebody would ask before hiring somebody like me? And then write the articles that answer those questions so that when somebody is doing a search, you come up. Feed the beast, right? Feed the beast. So yes, do it with, not, because again, it doesn't have any soul. And you could tell it doesn't have soul. Put your soul in it, but definitely leverage the chat because it can write it in minutes. We don't want to write more articles. We just want to write the ones we're doing faster.
I love it. I typed that up as fast as I could. What are the top 10 questions people would ask when they were looking for a coach like me? That was gold. That was worth the price of admission, ladies and gentlemen. That's genius. I was like, ooh, I'm definitely going to use that one as a prompt and then write the answers to those questions as your article. What an amazing tip from our diamond speaker, Angel Tussey. Amazing. All right, next question. A simple one, or maybe not so simple. How do we get more followers on social media? Any ideas there?
You wanna get followers, you gotta be a follower, right? Like anything that you're
Ah,
like looking, how do I get more referrals? You gotta refer. How do I be a client? You gotta, how do I get more listeners for my podcast? You gotta be a listener. Like you've got to be a consumer first. That's always gonna be my number one tip. Like if you won't read your book, nobody else is gonna read your book. If you won't listen to podcasts, nobody's gonna listen to your podcast. If you're not following people, nobody's gonna follow you. So number one, just lead by example. And number two, go and get booked on other people's stages, right? Go and be a podcast guest and promote your Facebook group on other, in front of other people's audiences. I think a lot of times we think I got to put more content and I got to do more posting and everything inside of the platform to attract people in. The key to it is always going to be in how you title it and that you're
Mm,
talking about it other places and inviting people in. So make sure it's got a good title, that it's
titles are
attractive.
everything.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. It is. And that's why I'm so loving this Podlicity because it grabs people's attention. I get to trademark it. We haven't
Mm,
started the Facebook, we haven't opened the Facebook group yet. We will. But I'm timing that right now. We're going to just play in school with getting all of our podcast hosts in there. We just crossed over 140 members. And our goal was to have 100 members by March 1, and we hit that goal. So now we're kind of strategizing
congratulations.
that. But go and be a guest on other people's platforms and tell them about your Facebook group.
I love it. Really good idea. One question is, do you have a template for magazines? Offers have one, but no idea who or whether or not their financing is worth it. Do you have a template? Are there templates that you should use, or are
Now,
they out there on social media?
yeah, there are. And here's what I'll do. I will put a template for the articles inside our Publicity classroom so that you guys will have it when. So give me like 24 hours and I'll put a template inside Publicity in the classroom for
Great.
you.
Click the link, join Publicity right now. It's a great group and you get to do a lot of things in it. Even if you're just free, you can read all those articles. You can connect with all those people. Amazing platform, so definitely check it out. Let's see. Next question. They're just saying how wonderful you are. Great tips, Angel. Fantastic. This is my first time putting myself out on the summit. So we have Alelo is actually going to be speaking a little bit later today. So awesome. When people are speaking on virtual events, that is a great way to connect directly with the audience, as opposed to podcasts, which are out there in evergreen and they get picked up by AI so they're two separate superpowers, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, and, right? Which should I do? Yes, and,
Yes,
right?
and
Yeah, that's why I'm telling you two per week, mix and match.
ooh, I like
Um,
that.
but but you can fill your calendar, right? You can create visibility like so easily just by leveraging these types of events. But I love the virtual events. You've got the chat that's going on. You can connect with them on LinkedIn. You can have that, you see who's here, and you have a very different dynamic versus podcast. But podcast, if you think about all the things you want to do to kind of check off the boxes and get that visibility, they're yeah, it's a yes and mix and match your apples,
I
your
love it.
apples.
So articles, live events, virtual events, and podcasts, and what was the other P?
Press
Oh,
releases.
press release is my favorite. Press releases. Um, if they do a press release, do you have to use an agency, or can you just do a press release on, is it
Yeah.
Hero or anything like that?
So you actually can take your press release. Every local news station has a web page. So, and it doesn't have to be your local station, but just think about, Denver, New York, LA, right? Every town, and major city has a local news station. If you go to their website, there's a link where you can submit your press release directly to every single news station. So you can do this DIY. Um, and they're looking for news stories, right? I mean, you've ever watched the news and thought, gosh, it must have been a really slow news day, right? Because they're
Yeah,
sharing the story. How many of you would love to be slow news? Like I will
yeah.
take it, right? All day long. So you can do the DIY, submit them directly, start to build relationships with journalists so that you can send them directly to those journalists. You can do a Google search for anybody covering your story and see all those
Oh, that's a
journalists. So you
good
can start
idea.
to DIY
Yeah.
and do this yourself. We use a service called Meltwater. It's a paid service for professional journalists. And then there's some other things out there as well that have a fee, and they're anywhere from $500 to $3,000 to put out a press release. But this is why start with once a quarter by leveraging a distribution service, or once a month if you can put that in your marketing budget, or just DIY and do it as often as you've got something new. The thing with a press release is it's new news. It has to be tied to a current event.
A current event, something that just happened. So if you
Yeah.
released your book 6 months ago, that's not going to be a press
That's not
release.
going to be it. But if you're doing a book launch event or you're speaking about it or you're doing something this month for the book, that would be the current event.
Awesome. All right, you have a free gift for our audience. It's Visibility Before Breakfast Blueprint. We just put it in the chat. If you open that up and are able to log into it and get it, please put I got it in the chat box so we can make sure that Angel's link is working properly. That is for everyone. So, regardless, we would love to have you come and join the blueprint and be able to get that access to that. I think that'll be a real good Kickstarter for many of you. And we already talked a little bit about your VIP gift, which for our VIPs, we're going to give you 30 days free of the premium version of Podlicity. So we will hope that you will enjoy that as well and be able to write your first article maybe with ChatGPT.
I love
This has
it.
been,
I love it.
yeah, this has been totally amazing. How would you recommend that they leverage the VIP? Will it start? I know that it will normally start like right away. If somebody doesn't upgrade, like, will they lose out on the opportunity to get it, or when will they have to upgrade by?
Oh, that's a great question. I will give you through the end of March to upgrade. So that way we kind of
Awesome.
keep it here. So if you don't want to upgrade just quite yet today, you want to make sure that you take advantage of that. I'll give you through the end of March to do that upgrade.
Awesome. Well, don't miss out on that. Don't forget about it. Put it off and then not get it at all. That's very generous of you. So you will have through the end of March. That was a perfect answer because we're gonna maybe do something cool with Potapalooza as well. All right, great job. So, Angel, this has been really, really spectacular. Up next, we have another amazing speaker coming up on this track. Again, you're going to have to choose which track you're going to join because all the tracks end at the end of every session. And then you are doing your choose your own adventure. Which of the 13 other tracks are you going to go see for a talk that speaks to you? But before we let you go, Angel, any final words for the crew?
I would love to tell you, like, how many of you just know for a fact, like, your story was meant to be shared? And if you could just get it in front of more people, and if you want to impact hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, there are media opportunities looking for authorities, they're looking for authors, and they're looking for guests every day. So jump in and say yes. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to cheat off of Kimberly. When somebody hands you the microphone, you say yes.
Oh, well, thank you very much for that. I appreciate you. I just have to say that I need to do more of it. And I think some of the people in the audience need to do more of it as well. If you're going to do Vapples, put in the chat Vapples, VAPPLE, live event.
VAPPLE. Yeah, I got it because
Pick
I
two
got
a
the whole
week.
live event. Yeah, right.
Pick two a week. Do any of the two you want. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you back at right now. Cheers. We ran late. Sorry. You're great.
Sorry. Sorry.
That's totally cool.